Today we're debunking homeschool myth number 6. Parents can't teach their children because they don't have a teaching certificate. Hey there, everybody. I'm Tracy from teachmetracy.com. And on this channel, you're going to find videos all about the tips, tools, and tricks to thrive in a homeschool lifestyle. So today we're debunking myth number 6. Parents aren't qualified to teach their kids because they don't have a teaching certificate. Rather than hearing my opinions first on this topic, I am going to let you in on a little secret from a woman who describes herself as a perpetual unschooler, and I'm going to share with you her thoughts on homeschooling and why you don't need to be a certified teacher to homeschool your kid. If you're not familiar with unschooling, basically they don't really follow a curriculum per se. They just let the children figure out what they want to learn about, and then they learn about those type of topics. It's not a formal curriculum that you're following generally with unschooling. She says people confuse learning with teaching, and learning is just as natural for humans as breathing is. Learning is drawing out what intrigues the child or the person who's learning. Teaching is pushing. Creating the environment for learning is key. So if you create an environment of learning, your child will eventually learn how to figure out what they like and figure out how to learn. And if you start them this way from they're a very young age, they begin to take responsibility for their own education and for their own learning. I've heard other homeschoolers describe it this way. Learning is not something that's done to you. It is something that you do. So a person who learns is someone who's taking an active role in their education. So as the parent, it's your job to facilitate the learning environment and the learning of the subject and the learning of whatever it is that you're doing. The common misconception is that you actually physically need to teach. That's not really the case. Kids thrive in environments where you're setting up the environment for learning, and then watch your child develop. Especially by middle school, your child should be taking control of their own education, and really you're just there to you're kind of the backseat driver. They're in the driver's seat at that point, because by the time they're in middle school, they should already know what they're interested in and what kind of things that they want to learn about, and possibly what they want to do as a career or a job. That doesn't mean that you have to let other things slide. For example, my son really enjoys coding. He probably will end up doing something with computers. Not that we're pushing him in that direction, but right now we're setting up an environment for him to be able to learn and see if that's where he wants to go. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't focus on math and science and literacy. We focus on all of it. So when he's coding, he's able to problem solve. He has to be able to read on an advanced level because he has to be able to follow directions, and he has to then apply the directions to whatever code he's writing. So even in situations where you are encouraging your child to do what they love, they will learn to incorporate the other skills. Right now, in our case, our son is at least 1 grade level ahead in math, and he is at least 2 grade levels ahead as far as reading. And that is because we focus quite a bit on academics, but then once he has concepts down and once he has learned the academic part, then we let him focus on whatever he wants to focus on, and it's motivating him. Now, I am not somebody who believes in pulling a curriculum out of my colon. A lot of people do, and that's great. If that is what works for you, then go for it. I would say go for it. But in doing the research for homeschooling, I felt like it was a waste of time, especially because there are a number of other alternatives that you can use. These pods are forming where it's a group of parents and teachers or parents that are homeschooling their children, and they're doing it in groups. They're calling them pods. There's also umbrella groups that offer group classes, and there's also co-ops that offer group classes. So you don't have to take the load on The bottom line is this: if you yourself are capable of learning how to do something, then you're perfectly capable of showing your child how to learn that concept as well. Parents are the best people to teach their children because you were the very first people that started to teach your child. And I'm here to tell you, if you can teach a kid to potty train, then you can set up an environment and encourage that child to be a lifelong learner. So I hope that helps you. If you haven't joined my Facebook group yet, please join. I'll link it down below in the description box. Also, go to my website and you can download free scavenger hunt printables and free hands-on activities. Make sure that you take a look at some of those because they're really fun, especially if it's a rainy day or if it's a holiday or snowy day and you can't get out anywhere. Try some of those hands-on experiments. You can use them for pre-K all the way up to about 5th grade. So that's all I have for you today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.